Check, 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 check. Check, check, check.
Now Wilson on first down. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked by Kevin Byard, and they will set up shop in enemy territory at the 42-yard line. Well, that's tough. You come in here, you dial up that pass play on the first play from scrimmage and get it picked.
And you know coaches always talk about we prepare for every eventuality. You don't even mention this as a possibility when you dial up that play, right? Instead, they throw a pick, and now they're behind the 8 ball on the road to get things going.
They'll run for the first time with Phillip Lindsay. And some good running out of the gates as he takes this up to the 33. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
The last run got 9. That leaves them with 2nd and a yard.
Watch the screen.
On 2nd down, a run with Lindsay. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. A gain of 10, good for a Steeler first down.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Now Rodgers. That's caught. It's Thomas. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. And a nice gain of 21 yards. They'll try to run with Lindsay. Nothing doing there. They're going to wind up holding him at the 2. No gain there, and it's going to set up 2nd and goal.
I don't know about you, Brandon, but I often think to myself, in these situations, I want a back who can create his own space, who can break tackles.
And he's in. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Phillip Lindsay. His 3rd touchdown now on the year as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Prater for the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he is out of bounds here on the return. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. Not the start that they were hoping for. The interception on the first play of the game. It leads to 6 points the other way. How do you rebound from here?
Yeah, a little bit of humor. Got to laugh that one off, and not the ha-ha, that was very funny, but kind of like, can you believe that just happened? Let's go out and play now. Let's just start over.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. On 2nd down, it's Pollard. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down. Plays like we just saw there. That's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. Last play they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
They go play action here on first down. Over the middle, complete. That's Barber. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. A Chicago first down there on a gain of 11. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff, didn't they?
When we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, they like his work ethic. This guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time, really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on.
Getting it to him in space pays off big time. That winds up going for 31.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pumps from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big game. They'll go with Pollard here on first down. Slipped one tackle, but no more as he's knocked to the deck behind the line of scrimmage. A loss of 2 there, second down. This defense against the run, by the way, they're not top 5, but they are top 10.
So what's your philosophy here? Do you try and run the ball against a team that's pretty good against the run? What if you're a pretty good running team? If so, you might want to go ahead and run it anyway because that's your strength.
52.
On second and 12, Wilson. Now the pressure gets there, and he goes down just inside the 20 at the 19.
Well, nothing takes a start to have a good drive quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
No, now they're looking at a third and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
First and second down were a disaster. Both went backwards. Now it's 3rd and 18. They need something big. From the gun, it's Wilson. And, it'll be intercepted. Picked by Darryl Worley. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. No doubt a very disappointing end to what was a pretty strong opening drive.
They had 3 points in their back pocket. It was there for them. If you don't like what you see, just throw it away. Make sure you get those points on the board. Don't get too greedy. He forced it there. You saw the end result.
A pass there over the middle to start things out. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. The Steeler first down on the pickup of 11 yards.
First and 10 at the 31-yard line.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on first and 10. On first and 10, it's Lindsey. And he'll scratch out only about a yard up to the 32.
Nice job by that defensive front there to hold him to a short gain on first down. Well played, I must say.
Yeah, only getting 1 yard. There was no room to run. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Shotgun now for Rodgers. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. 33 yards that time.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play. They picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So that changes things a bit. Here's a 1st and 10 all the way down at the 35. Now a carry for Lindsey. They'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Brings up 2nd and 4 at the 30-yard line.
The last run got 6. Now 2nd and 4. Here's Rodgers to throw. They'll find Lindsey here. A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
26.
From the gun on 3rd down, Rodgers. This one complete to the running back, Lindsey. And he's going to be taken down here still a couple yards short of the first.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. And the 14-year trusty veteran able to knock it through. And the lead moves to 10-zip. So that's a 7-play drive that ultimately stalls out there at the end.
And things were a little leaky in the beginning on that drive, weren't they? But how about the front 7? As they got closer to the goal line, things stiffened a little bit, forced the field goal.
And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line.
At their own 28-yard line.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively, obviously. 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit like, hey, didn't we practice in that colored jersey all week, not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. Man open left side, it's his running back with it. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. Boy, he ran free there after the catch as that winds up going for 38. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10.
Alert, alert, alert.
Play action. It's Wilson. Oh, he's going to let this go for the end zone. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on 1st down, but he couldn't reel it in.
Boy, you will not see a quarterback of his caliber miss on one like that very often. I mean, there it is, wide open, got the shot, and he misfires.
We talk about, boy, he'll want that one back all the time. He definitely wants that one back.
Good job right there. Good job right there.
Again on 2nd and 10, it's Wilson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Zadarius Smith just would not be denied. That's a loss of 7. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the...
And Wilson's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Denzel Perryman. And he's going to take this one back to the 37-yard line. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. The drive will commence with a run by Lindsey. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
I got you, boy. Mark, hey, seam 6. Seam 6. Jim, Jim. 30 off the mic. Hey, man. Watch the boot. Watch the boot.
On 2nd and 11 now. Rodgers and Thomas has it. He's got a 1st down and then some at midfield. And finally taken down at the 20-yard line. It's a big play there for the Steelers. 44 yards.
It's not a surprise when you read scouting reports and watch tape because you know he's a heck of a player. But he is so difficult to get down in the open field. They just want to get him the ball and let him do his thing.
The throw right sideline here is complete. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down. They'll run here with Lindsey. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down. Now, keep in mind, if you're thinking of staying on the ground, this is a top 5 rush defense.
Yeah, but I don't think you shy away totally with the run. At least show them the hint of a run before you decide to throw the football.
The Bears bring out an extra defender in the secondary now for 3rd down. Shotgun now for Rodgers. Looking in zone, but it's incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
This is taken at his 4. And he breaks it all the way out to the 38-yard line. Great return.
At their own 38-yard line.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And with 3 interceptions thrown already, we'll see. Do they rely more on the ground game here?
They may have to change things offensively to try and settle things down, not just for the guy throwing the ball, but for the rest of the offensive unit, because his confidence has to be shaken a little bit. And you just wonder, is the backup going to start to warm up a little bit over on the sideline?
So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on first down. Pollard going to try the right side. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. A good response by the defense, sending them backwards after that huge gain last play.
Hey, alert!
On 2nd and 15 now. Wilson. And this is intercepted, but they'll say out of bounds. Oh, very close to a turnover there in the end zone.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
Third and long, it's Wilson. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Tashawn Gibson. And the return just out across the 15 to the 16-yard line. The Steelers signal for the second of their timeouts. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards.
Mark 38! Mark 38! Mark 38! Local over here. Get out the field, defense. Hey, alert 3! Alert 3!
Rodgers going to throw. Being chased out left. And that's going to be incomplete.
Well, my initial thought was that maybe he was just trying to blindly throw this one away, and maybe he was. But he's going to get away with it because as he tried to throw it over the left sideline there's a receiver right there in the area, so no grounding call.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
We got three, fellas. We got inside. Hey, Alpha. Go.
Working from the gun, Rodgers. And he connects with Ebron. Pittsburgh getting 16 yards there and also a first down.
We didn't need to ask around the league, but we got to confirm this guy's a good player. They've got to find a way to get him more involved, call a few more plays that target him.
Absolutely, because here we are toward the end of the first half, and that's the first target, not just the first catch, first target.
Check. 59.
Rodgers now on first down. Looking for Thomas, but that's intercepted. Picked off by Obi Melifonwu. And the return stops at the 39-yard line. Thomas the intended target.
Oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. After the interception, here's Wilson. Throw left side complete. It's Barber. And they'll get this one to about the 20-yard line. Right about 20 yards on the pickup. And officially, they'll say it's going to go for 19. Trick slant caught by Moore. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. Now the Bears going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. They've been in the red zone 3 times in this game and have not scored a single point. Can they break through here on 2nd and goal? From the shotgun, Wilson. And that is caught. Touchdown, Bears. From 6 yards away as they are now on the board here in the first half. The extra point up and good. And it's now 13-7. So here comes the kickoff, and what now is just a 1-score, 6-point game. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And from back there, a wise move. He'll just sit on this one, and it'll come out to the 25. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. You're under a minute to go here in the half. Field position not really in your favor, but still time to try and move the ball and get in field goal range.
Yeah, you've got the lead. It's definitely a thought. Let's go ahead and try and increase it. But at the same time, I don't like the odds. I don't like where they are in the field. Got the lead. They've done well in the first half. Don't mess it up and go into halftime looking at each other wondering what if.
Now the Steelers going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Rodgers. This is complete to Michael Thomas. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. The end result, 21 yards.
I can't believe they even let you play.
Into the red zone, it's Rodgers. Back of the end zone, could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete. Looking to go back to Thomas again, but it's going to be 2nd down. So on 2nd down, the field goal unit is on here as they try to get 3 before half. From the left hash, this from 34. Prater's kick is good. And now it's a 2-score game at 9, 16-7. So a capper there to a pretty good first half.
And I love the way that they put a chokehold on the clock and pretty much drained everything before they put the field goal on the board as they headed into the half.
And they're going to wind up with pretty good starting field position as they get it up past the 35. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. Likely time for just one final play, and then it'll be off to the locker room to talk about how they can erase this deficit.
Yeah, and I think a lot.
And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half of play. So we come upon halftime with 9 points separating these two teams. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. This will be fielded at the 6. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because Now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. Here's a throw that's taken in out of the backfield. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. 12 yards that time at a Pittsburgh first. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him to football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit. But get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are. You know, make him make someone miss in the open field.
58.
Hey, we got Mike, number 53. Mike, 53.
On 2nd and 11 now. Rodgers, and he finds Beasley, complete. 12 yards that time at a Pittsburgh first. Rodgers now 11 of 16 through the air. It's 1st and 10.
Let's go. 38 to Mike. Come on.
To throw is Rodgers, operating from the gun. That'll be caught by Cup. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Cooper Kupp, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Steelers, they broaden their lead. Still plenty of time left in the game, but now starting to pull away a little bit. Get some breathing room with that one.
And I don't want people to think that NFL locker rooms are cookie cutter, that everyone's saying the exact same thing in every situation. But I do know that all 32 teams have an emphasis on starting fast. Game, being on the second half no matter what. Whether it's first 5 minutes, first 3, whatever. This was a big score to start the second half.
A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned. Because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 46. Run for Pollard. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
Come get some. Come on here. Come get some. One pass. Here. Check 3. Check 3.
Wilson now off the bootleg. Toward the right sideline, but it's incomplete. He was looking to get that one to DJ Moore, but now it's 3rd down.
Let's face it, if you want to get back into the game, these are the kind of throws you got to hit. He's wide open right there. Got to be able to get it to him, don't you think?
And those are the throws that haven't been available to them every time. And he's going to go down. Back near midfield at the 49. Tim Williams in there to drop him for a 6-yard loss, and that will lead to 4th down. Here comes the Bears punter now. And surprisingly, this is the first punt of the game for either team. It'll be a net of 39, 41-yard punt, 2 on the return. And the Steelers are going to take over 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They'll start on the ground with Lindsey. He'll have a first down and more past the 20 as he'll take this up to the 22-yard line. The Steelers picking up 15 yards there and a first down.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
On first down, right back to Lindsey. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. On second down, it's Lindsey, and he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
First down. First and 10 at the 35-yard line.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on first and 10.
Mike, 53.
Now they'll throw with Rodgers. Ebron caught left side. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. That one good for 14 yards and a Steeler first.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
A gain of 3, second down.
Not much happening there on first down.
I thought there might have been a hole for a split second.
Yeah, but it dried up pretty quickly, didn't it? Closed fast.
From just shy of midfield, Rodgers. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Lindsey. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
That's another Steelers first down.
Rodgers now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's first and 10. They run with Murray, and he'll get 4 here down to the 35-yard line.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a second and 6. They'll run. It's Lindsey. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. Under a minute to go in this third quarter as they come up first and 10. Now it's Lindsey. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, second and 2. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
Everyone got 4 down.
On second down now, it's Murray. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line.
Well, this has been a long drive. In fact, it's eaten up a good chunk of the third quarter, which is precisely what you want when you're playing with the lead. You control the football, you control the clock, and impose your will on the defense.
Try to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a close. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. Second down.
No gain on the play. Brings up second and 10 at the 15-yard line.
Green 18.
Right here.
Spot is 50. Hey, Green 18.
On second down, it's Lindsey. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. Call it a gain of 4, and it'll leave him with a third down and 6 to go. The recipe's pretty simple, I think, right? Just give your superstar the ball, continue to feed him.
Yeah, don't overthink this one, right? Make sure he's touching the football, but you're also counting on his intelligence in playing the game as well. If it's not there, don't force the run. Just make sure you hang on to the football and keep the clock ticking.
3rd and medium, they opted to run instead of pass, and it worked. First down. A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is 1st and goal. They'll run with Lindsey. And just a short gain that time as they're able to get him down. Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal.
That run didn't get very far, and I think when you're looking at his dimensions, he's a little bit on the smaller side. He's counting on the big guys up front to escort him in, and they couldn't create any kind of space for him, could they?
Yeah, didn't get the push lead. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. Philip Lindsay, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Steelers, they broaden their lead. Extra point good by Prater. And the lead opens up now to 22 points. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This one fielded at the 5. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line.
At their own 25-yard line.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
First down.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Here's Wilson. Now they go screen. It's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. A Chicago first down there on a gain of 11. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Here's Pollard, and they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. On 2nd and 11 now. Wilson got his man complete over the middle. That's Barber. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down. And, boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables. Otherwise, they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his and only his.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on 4th down. They'll try and throw for it with Wilson. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Tim Williams. And this defense is going to get the football back near midfield, right at the 48. Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10, just shy of midfield at the 49. He's got the first down and more inside the 40. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Philip Lindsay, his 3rd touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And the Steelers, they broaden their lead. Prater for the extra point. And that'll push the lead up to 29 now.
36, Bears 7.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This one fielded at the 5. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And last time this unit was out here, costly turnover, and then that turned into 6 points. They've got to make amends.
And how many times have we sat in meetings with coaches and they use the term complementary football? Offense take care of the defense, defense take care of the offense. That didn't happen on the last possession. This is a chance for them to pick themselves back up and help their team.
Yeah, we'll see if they can recoup and recover. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4.
They're not ready for this. They still playing. Y'all playing.
To throw is Wilson. Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. And it's picked up by the Steelers. And they'll take over inside the 45 at the 44-yard line.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, you'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. They'll run on first down. Lindsey. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 12 yards that time at a Pittsburgh first.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the fourth as it was way back in the first, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
A first down run, not going to get him a whole lot. Maybe a yard. Yeah, it looks like just 1 yard there. So that'll bring up 2nd and 9. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be 3rd down.
Not your conventional play call, but that's okay. You probe the defense a little bit with some of everything in your playbook. That way they have to account for everything as the game moves on.
On 3rd down, here's Lindsey. And finally, down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Well, they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on 1st and goal. Clock counting down toward 40 seconds as they take the knee. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this fourth quarter. It's 2nd and goal, back to the 8-yard line now. And they take a knee. Now the Bears going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 seconds to go in the game. They need to reverse the trend. The last 2 plays have gone backwards. Now it's 3rd and goal.
A loss of a yard brings up 4th and goal.
Now the Bears will use their 3rd and final timeout as they get it with 26 seconds to go in the football game. Well, they could just run this clock out, but here is the field goal unit on 4th down. And Prater's kick is on the money. It's good. And that will just add 3 more to a lead that's already out of hand. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the fourth.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
And nice work on the turn as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in a game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
Tighten up. Pull it together.
Switch it.
Here's Pollard again. And an alley to run. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32.
He was brought down by Marcus Peters.
So this one in the win column for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And they were buoyed, Charles, by a big second half to put this one on ice.
And I know a lot of people watching this one were thinking to themselves, I bet halftime was really interesting. Probably took the paint off the walls with some of the words that were said. But I get the sense that it was much more of the adjustments they made. They came in with a game plan that we saw that didn't work in the first half. They made the adjustments necessary, went away from that, and then they got it together, got a spark, and then took off. It's really nice to watch in the second half.
So for Pittsburgh, it'll be a .500 start as the win gets them back to 2-2. And they'll get to stay home again next week. Meanwhile, for Chicago, they also will exit this one at 2-2. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.
Honey, I dash, got it on smash, foot on the gas. I will not crash, they will not stop me. Tenfold, copy, end zone, watch me celebrate. I'm cocky, I do my dance, jump in the stands. No man, man, oh, deal with the hands. Thought he could guard me, I ruin they plans. I do what I want, they do what they can. Got it on smash, foot on the gas. I will not crash, honey, y'all dash, 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 yeah. They can't catch up cause they lacking the stamina. Way too advanced to be playing with amateurs. Stay on attack when they tackle like damager. They react and play it back on the camera. Hot boy, just consider me flammable. They can handle this battlefield. It's just me and my warriors. Guaranteed we emerge victorious.